Hey y'all, this is Shama of the Yarn This podcast. I have decided that I think I'm going to participate in the vlog every day in April challenge. So we'll see how it goes. I've got some topic ideas, and I saw Cece of the Geeky Girls Knit podcast. I saw hers this morning, and I know that Jilly, Vegan Jilly of the Knitting Broomstick podcast, is also participating. So I think I'm going to try this. I'm going to try to come up with some topics. There are some on the, let me see what the name of this blog is, the SavvySexySocial.com blog, and she is hosting the vlog every day in April. My dog is down here, and I'm going to talk about her another day, so I'm not going to even, well, I guess I could show her. This is Luna. She's our silly little schnauzer. Say hi, Luna. Okay, go play. Anyway, if you don't watch my podcast, I have the Yarn This podcast, and if you can't tell by looking behind me, I am a knitter. Kind of an avid knitter, like I knit every single day. But this month I'm going to, along with talking about my knitting, I'm going to try to talk a little bit more about other things, other aspects of my life as well. Today I'm going to introduce myself. I am a wife to Chuck of nearly 30 years. I'm a mom to Logan and Kelby. Logan is 26 and Kelby is 22. I taught school for 3 years before I had children, and my last teaching experience was awful, but it led to another great thing in my life. But I had Logan in February of that year, and I had quit teaching in December. And when he was about 3 years old, 2 or 3 years old, I started thinking about homeschooling, which is what I ended up doing. I homeschooled both of my boys all the way through. And if I hadn't had that awful teaching experience, I wouldn't have had the opportunity and the wonderful, life-changing experience of homeschooling my kids. I loved it. I mean, it wasn't perfect. People used to say to me, I could never do that. I don't have the patience. And I would say things like, well, we wake up every morning with smiles on our faces, and everybody is dressed and shining and ready to go to and start school. But that wasn't reality at all. I was kidding. I was being very sarcastic when I said that. It's not for everybody, I suppose, but I can't imagine having done it any other way. I loved it. Like I said before, I'm a knitter. I crochet a little tiny bit, and I spin a little bit. I would like to spin more, but when it comes down to it, I'm going to choose knitting. I have both of my parents still living. I have one brother, and he's married with 3 children, and later in the week you're going to get to meet my sister-in-law and the kids, and you're going to get to meet my parents, because I'm going to be going out of town this week. I have lots of plans, well, several things that I'm going to talk about this month, so I'm hoping to make this an interesting thing. I was born in Beaumont, Texas, on March 18th, 1966. My dad was still in college. My mom had taken a break so that Daddy could finish up, and Daddy was going to Sam Houston in Huntsville. Back then, the mortality rate for newborns born in Huntsville was extremely high, so Mom decided that she was going to go back home and stay with Grandmama and Granddaddy till I was born. So she did, and I was born there in Beaumont, and my cousin was the delivery nurse for me, which was great. I mean, I think that was good for my mom. It was comforting for her. And she said that the day that I was born, she left and everything was great. And when she came back the next morning, they told her that I had had a brain bleed overnight. They did not know how this was going to affect my life, if it was going to cause some kind of mental defect or whatever. And they told my mom they wouldn't know for a year if I was mentally retarded. And my husband still asks me if they ever found out. Anyway, so I grew up there in Vidor, which is where my parents had grown up. And I went to school there. My kindergarten year I went to another school because that's where my mom taught. But then I went from first grade through 11th grade at Vider, and then we ended up moving to West Texas my senior year. But Vider is my hometown. It's where I go for my class reunions. It's where most of my friends still are. I'm still very close with a lot of my school friends. The thing about me is I am what I've always been. I've just added to that, to what I've always been. So if you knew me when I was young, you still know me. I love to watch like Law and Order type shows. So all the Law and Orders, NCISs, CSIs. I also love sci-fi and fantasy. As a matter of fact, my favorite show ended last night, and I cried a lot. It was grim. Um, One of my favorite channels is Investigation Discovery, and another one is Hallmark Movies and Mysteries. So I watch a lot of that kind of stuff. I watch way too much TV, but I like to stay on top of things in my house. I'm very neat. I like things to have a place and to be put away and organized. I love organization. And so that I don't have to constantly be picking up and cleaning. I do laundry every day, so I don't have a ton of laundry to do one day a week. So it makes it easy for me to keep the house up and to be able to take care of all the things that I like to do. I love being a homebody and being a housewife, and being a mom and a sister and a daughter, and hopefully a good friend and an aunt. I love being an aunt to my two nephews and my niece. Right now we live in Houston. I say right now. We've been here since April of '99, so we're coming up on 18 years. Wow. My younger son was not even 5 when we moved here, and my older son had just turned 8. So they've been here the majority of their lives. We've had our ups and downs here. In some ways, I wish that I just lived in my hometown that I grew up in, but I wouldn't have my knitting friends here, and I don't know, my life would have been very different. And I know that my brother wouldn't have met my sister-in-law because they were introduced from a couple that worshiped with us. So living here and moving here has had a lot of benefits for us. And I think I'm resigned to the fact that we're going to be here, and I'm happy. I'm not unhappy with it. So I'm hoping to get my parents to move here. They are fighting me, but I think it would be a really good thing. They don't like Houston at all, and I understand. They like being out small town, but I'm hoping I can get them here and take care of them. What else is there about me? I love Doctor Who. I'm just now, and I'm kind of embarrassed to admit this a little bit, I'm just now watching Firefly through for the first time. My younger son and I have been watching it. We're going to probably finish it up in the next couple of days. And it's a lot more serious than I expected it to be. I guess with Nathan Fillion, I expected it to be a more humorous, and it's very serious. It's got some humorous moments, but yeah. I'm hoping to become a knitwear designer. I have a pattern in mind. I've designed a couple of little things, but nothing fancy. A flamingo dishcloth is really the thing that I've designed that more people have knit, but not very many people. But my next project is going to be a sock. I have an idea in mind, and I have the yarn, and so that's going to be coming up. And like I said, this whole thing is not going to be just about knitting. It's going to be about other aspects of my life, with knitting probably thrown in every single day. Anyway, I guess that's really all there is to talk about for me. So I'll be blogging every day in April, and the hashtag is SSSVEDA. It's 2017, I think. And so keep looking out for those, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow. Bye.